All right, so welcome back. Today I am working on a landscape painting that I started recently, and this is an imaginary landscape just sort of based on some of the thoughts that I've been having lately. The thoughts about our universe, how big our universe is. Do we have other life forms in our universe? What would other worlds be like? The balance of nature. Those are sort of the themes that are inside of my mind right now as I'm creating new work. Um, if you've watched any of my previous recent videos, you know that I'm working on a body of paintings um, for a show that I have coming up titled Oasis in the very near future. And I'm in crunch time right now with about a month left to complete everything and to get all of my ideas out. And I found that what happens when I'm working on a show, once you get to that point of about a month in, you start getting all of these new ideas that pop up inside of your mind and you want to get them out urgently. It probably has something to do with just the thoughts of, man, I've got a show. I want to, present the best show possible, and I want to complete the work to where I have everything out of my mind that I can get out in that period of time. So new ideas start to pop up in your head just a few weeks before the show. At least for me, I can't speak for other artists, but this happens to me every time that I've had a solo show. So right now, I'm really working to get those ideas out and also finish out some of the previous ideas and concepts that I had. So in this imaginary landscape, I'm just still sort of working on the flat tones, the bass tones, and I'm working on the sky right now. I have it divided into two sections, and if you look closely, you might see um, a semblance of the yin yang symbol, which represents balance. So it's sort of hidden back there, and it won't be as pronounced as the painting moves forward because those two pieces of the sky will be separate, but some of the blending that will occur will make it a little bit more subtle, I believe, than what it is now. Um, Prior to working on the sky, I was working on the water, which is underneath the sky. And as you can see, the blue is a little bit lighter towards the center of the composition where the sun lies. And whenever I'm creating a landscape, um, and I'm putting a light source into the landscape, like the sun or a star or a moon, I try not to center it. So that circle that represents the sun or a star is not in the center of the composition. It is off to the side a little bit towards the right. So I try to make things off centered and think about how cinematics are presented and how scenes are presented. You know, you never really see characters central as far as in the center of a composition in a movie. So, I try to take those same ideas and I try to put those into my paintings as well, seeing as how I feel like I'm creating scenes and stories. And I want those things to be interesting from top to bottom. And I don't want a strong split in the middle of my composition. And I want the whole composition to be important and to be um, fully developed. So, as you can see, I've got the base tones in my sky completed using an orange, fairly solid orange that I mix with cadmium red and cadmium yellow medium. And in order to get that orange on the left side, I used probably 80% more yellow than I used red. um, because the red will overtake the yellow very easily with the paints that I'm using, and with most paints that I've used. Red is a stronger color with more pigment count, so you have to balance it out by utilizing more yellow than red to get those oranges. And then on the right side, I used probably, it's probably about 50-50 now. So now I have that reddish orange color. After I did that, I went into that red and into that orange that I created, and I added some ultramarine blue into that red and orange to create that darker tone, which is creating the trees that I'm painting right now. So, as I've said before, I'm extremely frugal with my paints, and I try to use every ounce of paint that I squeeze out of the tube, and I try to apply it onto the canvas. And it's funny, like when it's quitting time, like when I have to leave the studio, I might have to go pick up my son or something like that. And if I have any paint left over and I just have absolutely nowhere to put it, I get kind of frustrated. I'm like, man, I just wasted some paint. So that's where I've gotten to in regards to being frugal and utilizing every piece of paint that I can utilize. So still working on those trees, and trying to lay that color down flat, and make sure that it's represented evenly so that I can have the freedom to do more with it once it's dry. um, Working on these flat colors and these base colors, I'm going to allow them to dry a little bit before I go back into them. So for this particular session, I'm getting all the flat colors completed, feeling good about it. Now I've mixed the green, and the way that I mix that green is the color that I had prior. One side of my palette had a little bit more ultramarine blue on it than the other, so it was a little bit more blue. So I just took some cadmium yellow medium, and I put that cadmium yellow medium into that ultramarine with that little bit of reddish orange mixture, and I got that green from that mixture. So again, being frugal, knowing that I'm going to layer, putting down that base tone, which will get me set up and prepared for the next portion of the painting. I'm feeling confident in regards to the composition and where I'm at this moment. And I'm really looking forward to further developing this piece and seeing how it ends up when it's all said and done. This piece is going to have a sister piece um, that's going to be in the same series. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. Thank you.